Hey, good afternoon. Russell of Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Today is Tuesday, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for On Air with Russell of Hotels. You know that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about. Hey, this is the monologue part, so the intro will come next, with the music and all that stuff. But, I just wanted to, this is kind of the way for me to make sure everything's working okay. The picture looks good, the sound looks okay, and I assume that it does, right? We're live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube. If you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do so, because if you do so, you'll not only get a notification, but you can make comments in real time, right? Like right now, you can make the comments right now on YouTube right now, and I can see them and I'll post them on the screen. But if not, if you're on LinkedIn, which I love LinkedIn, okay, it's just that it doesn't communicate with the platform that I use, you can make your comments. Feel free to make your comments because it's all about the engagement, right? And I will get back to those comments after the show's over. It just won't be in real time, but that's just how it is. This is how it is. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Tuesday to you. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd. Couple more days and we'll be in October. I guess we're now in fall now. But from the weather outside, I'm in California, LA, and you wouldn't think nothing's changed, right? Nothing's changed yet, but California doesn't really change for probably another month or so anyway. But it's still sunny. I'm still watering my grass, and the grass is still growing, and the flowers are still blooming. So that's a good thing, right? So, but yeah. So hey, real quick, I was while I'm doing this monologue, right? I just got my information or my name tag, my name badge for IMAX. Okay, so you see that? It's green on the outside, so you may not be able to see it. See? Okay, attendee buyer. Okay, I'm not hosted this time. Okay, I am attending IMAX, which is the largest show for hotel people, DMO people, CVB people, meeting planners, all those kind of things. It's like 15,000 people to go to this thing. There will probably be representatives from, I don't know, at least 100 or so countries. From all over the globe. There'll be people represented from those destinations. So it's one of those. They have two of them, right? So there's one in the United States, which is in Vegas. That's the one I'm attending, and then there's one in Frankfurt, Germany, that happens earlier in the year. So those are two huge shows. A lot of people will be there. I've been getting notifications like, people saying that, hey, let's meet, let's do this, let's do that, invite me here, invite me there, or set up an appointment kind of thing. So when you're not hosted, you're kind of on your own, right? Because you can get on the floor. I mean, it doesn't cost anything to go to attend, right? You just have to pay your own way and get your hotel room, right? However you get there, and you have to pay for your hotel room. Now, if you're a hosted buyer, meaning there's someone or some company, some organization, a hotel company, hotel organization, a DMO, a DMC can host you to come, but you're kind of at their mercy. You have to do so many appointments a day, and it's a 3-day conference. I think you have to do 6 a day. That's 18, right? I'm not trying to do 18. So I said, this is the first time I've gone and I was not hosted. I mean, don't get me wrong now, I was offered to be hosted. People, reached out. I was invited to be hosted, but I said, you know what? I'm not gonna do the hosted thing today. I just want to be an attendee and kind of attend how I want to do it, and set my own appointments. Maybe 2 a day, 3 a day, no more than 3 a day, right? But key people or key DMOs or key hotels that I want to see, and there may be at least 1 or 2 international destinations that I want to talk to as well. So, and I'll do that. And I've actually already done that. I already reached out and said, hey, let's meet. And, hey, there you go. But it's just a huge thing. It is exciting. You get to see a lot of the people that, maybe you haven't seen all year, maybe in a couple years or whatever. But it is definitely, it's one of those kind of conferences or trade shows that, man, the first time you go, it's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. There's so many destinations, so many people. People are running into each other. You walk by like the Marriott booth, like a Marriott or the Hilton booth, and there's tons of people just meeting with people, meeting with each other, and it's just the most electric, energizing thing, and it's a great thing to see within our industry. Just people getting together, planning business or making business, making plans, all that kind of stuff. Oh man, so it will be fun. It will be exciting. It will be all that stuff, all the adrenaline. Like I said, if it's your first time there, it's definitely something, to see, and kind of hold on to your hat, because there's a lot going on there, and it's good that you get a map, right? Get a map so you know exactly where everything is, right? So because you'll be going from one place to the other place. So when you set your appointments, you want to make sure that the appointments that you're setting are in the same area, the same section, like the 100s. You don't want something in the 100 section and then you go to the 1,000 section, right? Because it goes from 100, a row like 100, 100, 100 to like, I don't want to say like 3,500. I mean, there's so many people at this thing. It's sick. It's ridiculous, but it's definitely, like I said, it's energizing. It's electric. It's electric. But no, it's definitely a lot of fun, and definitely, do some business there. So I'm looking forward to it. So, and I'm going to be doing some lives there, some IG lives. I'm not going with, with my whole setup and everything. I wish Bruce could go with me, that kind of stuff. But he's not going. But I'll be doing something. Probably some IG interviews and stuff like that, or maybe even like the same platform here. But something's definitely going to happen. Something's definitely going to go down, when IMEX is in town or in Vegas. So look forward to seeing that. So anyway, that's it for the monologue. Okay, so just hold tight. We're going to start the do the intro and then come back with the show. The topic's going to be a good one, right? Topic's going to be a good one. I think you already know what it is. I've seen it. I mean, you've seen it. I put it up already. And if you follow me on LinkedIn, which if you don't, you need to do so, I've already posted something. I think I posted it yesterday, or maybe it was even Sunday night or something. I posted it. So I'm going to talk about that same thing. But anyway, we'll be back in about 2 minutes and 2 seconds. 2 and 2. Hey, once again, Russell of Hotels going live for that show On Air with Russell of Hotels. Today is show number 314. Hey, again, hello. Once again, today is Tuesday, September 23rd of 2025. Once again, I'll be going to IMEX. I just mentioned that a while ago. Did I mention I think I'm attending the small and boutique meetings with North Star as well. That's going to be in Knoxville, Tennessee. Is there a song, Knoxville, Tennessee? I'm trying to think. I can't remember how it goes, if there is a song. But I think I'm going to be attending that too. I just have to complete the application process. But that's maybe about 3 weeks. So I need to make sure I take care of that sooner or later, right? Or rather sooner than later. Okay, so that's something else I'll be doing as well. But as we get closer to that, we'll talk a little bit more about that. So every time I do one of these shows, either the Daily Check-In or On Air with Russell of Hotels, which is this show, the Daily Check-In is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm always going to showcase a hotel. So today is the Hilton Culver City, which is right outside of Los Angeles, right? I mean, it's in LA County. It's not too far from LAX, which is the airport, Los Angeles International Airport, just in case you didn't know that, the nickname for the airport here is LAX. But Los Angeles International. It's actually right on the same street as that. Maybe about maybe 10. I wouldn't even say it's 10 minutes. If there's no traffic, it's not even a 10-minute drive. But it's a straight shot. I always tell people, you can stay at the airport because there's a lot of nice hotels at the airport. And I have my favorite hotels at the airport. But if you want to be a little bit further away from the airport, where you can walk to like restaurants and stores, a mall, that's one thing that the airport does not have. Walking places you can walk. You can walk to the airport, you can walk back to your hotel, but you're not walking to a mall or a restaurant or anything like that at the airport area. Okay, here, this Hilton Culver City, nice hotel, was refurbished. Completely redone about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and it's right across the street from a mall and many restaurants and shopping. So you can't beat that, right? So that's why I always talk about this hotel, because I think it is very nice. They redid it, as you can see, that kind of beachy kind of feel, beachy kind of theme, if you will. California beach. Is that a theme? Like, it's a California beach theme. Okay, I got you. But no, very nice hotel, Hilton Culver City. Look it up, and and you see for yourself. I'm just Russell of hotels. I'm not trying to, force feed the hotels on you, but if I would stay there, I think you should too. I'll just leave it at that. So just go Hilton.com, look for Hilton Culver City, and you'll see it. But anyway, all the scenes that I go to, all the times that I'll change, the scenes like I just changed right now, it'll be the Hilton in Culver City. So real quick, one of the top 50 podcasts, that's Russell of Hotels, or that's myself. So this podcast right here, On Air with Russell of Hotels, is one of the top 50 podcasts internationally within the hospitality space. So, can you beat that? Yeah, you can. I could be number one, but who wants to be number one? If you're number one, everybody's trying to knock you off, right? So I'm ascending, right? So maybe I'm number 50. I don't know. And that's okay, because I got a lot more to grow. I got a lot more steps to take, right? So no, I'm not number 50, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you're in the top 50, that's all that matters. There's another 49 people, and shout out to those 49 people. Appreciate you guys, what you do for setting the bar high for people like myself to jump in and say, you know what, hey, I'm going to do that too. You know what I mean? So, no, I've been doing this 314 episodes. 314 episodes I've completed. This is 314 today. So, there you go. But anyway, this is the lobby area. So, this is out. So, the coffee bar is in back of me. There's like working desk right here. You get that free Wi-Fi, right? So, Hilton Honors member, you get that free Wi-Fi. So, I go there and just offers for the day. People watch, whatever. But yeah, that's the front door right there, front entranceway, all that glass right there. Just like I said, very nice, well-appointed hotel. You ever hear people say, so well-appointed? The rooms were well-appointed. What the heck does that mean, well-appointed? Are they nice? Okay, they're nice. Just say they're nice. Oh, yeah, the hotel's very nice. Oh, it's very well-appointed. Well, what the heck does that mean? That's like a hotel term. When someone's trying to describe a hotel, they'll say well-appointed rooms. What? You know what? I need to look up the definition of that, because I actually never looked up the definition. People just say it's well-appointed. What the heck does that mean? Is that a term? Do people use that? I don't know. I don't know why I'm even going off on that, but that's just me. But once again, thank you to the International Hospitality Institute for the distinction, the recognition, all the stuff that comes along with it. I appreciate it. And once again, I appreciate the other people as well. So this is one of the guest rooms at the Hilton Culver City. Kind of, like I said, it kind of has that, that kind of beachy vibe to it. The colors, that kind of aqua, the blues, and the sand color. You just kind of pick those things up, right? Yeah, I used to be a interior designer in another life. Yeah, right. But no, I just want to show what the hotel looks like. Just a very nice hotel. Very, very, very comfortable. Very comfortable. Very nice. It is a Hilton. It's a Hilton hotel, right? It's not. It used to be a DoubleTree. Okay, it used to be a DoubleTree, but then they got rid of the DoubleTree and said, you know, we're going to be a full-fledged Hilton with all the bells and whistles. Because in order to be a Hilton, you know, you have to undergo some type of renovation. You got to catch up on, because there's standards. There's different standards from being a Hilton hotel to a DoubleTree. Although a DoubleTree is under the Hilton flag, but there's more hoops that, you know, an owner would have to jump through in order to be a Hilton versus a DoubleTree. So a Hilton would be here, DoubleTree would be below that. Just in case you didn't know that, but that's just how it works. So in order for them to make the leap from a DoubleTree to a Hilton, they had to spend a lot more money. They had to renovate every single thing. They probably had to knock out some walls and all these kind of things too, because there's certain standards that the full service hotels have, and the Hilton Hotel is a full service hotel. So there you go. See, I just throw a little knowledge there every now and then. I didn't even know I was going to do that, but every now and then I throw some stuff out there. Every now and then. And this show's not going to be that, it does not have to be that long. It won't be that long. But I'm just want to make sure I'm being as thorough as I can. This is the lobby. This is kind of off of the front desk. So they reconfigured the lobby too, because the front desk used to be in another spot. So they kind of reconfigured, knocked some walls out, and this is what we have today, right? So this is kind of a sitting area right across from the lobby. You walk out one way and there's the meeting space. There's a meeting space and a pool over there. And it, like I said, just a very nice hotel, motel. It's not a Holiday Inn. Anyway, the blog. Okay, so I talk about the blog every week. So the blog is, you know, my way of communicating to everybody, you know, putting information out there, updating you on everything that we're talking about. And that could be this, like the topic for the day will always be on the blog. And I'm pretty sure I put this on there already. I didn't double check, but I'm pretty sure I put this, the topic for the day, on the blog. So how would you get to the blog? Just go russellofhotels.com. Oh, did I mention that the comments are open? Yeah, the comments are open. If I didn't mention that before, feel free to make comments. If you're on YouTube, make the comments now. They'll be there in real time. Yeah, I did mention it. But if you're on LinkedIn, you can still make comments. It just won't be in real time, okay? It'll be in my time. It won't be in real time. It'll be in my time, meaning once I finish the show, I can go back and look and see if there's any comments, and I can address those comments at that time. So, but anyway, so just go russellofhotels.com. That is my website. There's a lot of information there, not just the blog, but of course I'm talking about the blog because I want you to, if you didn't, say you missed a topic or whatever, just go to the blog, just go russellhotels.com, hit the blog button, bing, and then whatever I talked about, it'll just poof, it'll just appear. Like, oh, okay, he's going to talk about that today, or he talked about that already. Oh, this is what he meant by this. So yeah, so feel free to go and check it out, peruse. You can peruse the blog, and you can peruse the entire website, because there's a lot of good information out there too. And it's a work in progress, meaning my website, redoing some things, working on some things that hopefully in the near future, some of these things come to fruition, and you'll find out what those are once they happen, right? So I have a partnership page, which is different than an affiliate page, because some people do affiliates. I'm not trying to do affiliates. I'm trying to do partnerships, right? I think there's more involved on my end to do a partnership. So there's more people I got to reach out to, and I have to constantly reach out to people in order to try to form a partnership. Why are you trying to form a partnership? Let them know. You know, I got to let them know why I'm trying to do this, right? But I can easily have done affiliates, right? You know, people like, oh, I'm going to do an affiliate. Anybody can be an affiliate, but not everyone could be a partner. Once I get to that partner stage, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But right now, it's just conversation, right? It's just conversation and talk, and a lot of work on my end to see if I can be a partner with, you know, like a major brand, like Marriott Hotels or something like that. And I'm just throwing that out there, okay? Marriott Hotels. So, but there's specific things that I want to be partners with. It's not, you know, you probably wouldn't even know what the heck I was talking about if I said it. But that's okay. It's not a conversation to have right now. I'm just throwing stuff out there, because the more I talk about it, the more, you know, I'm getting psyched up about it, and more maybe it's going to happen, right? Okay. I mean, I have a lot of work on my end to do, but the more you talk about, you know, that positive positive vibes, positive affirmation, you know. People are like, okay, Russell. Yeah, gotcha. So anyway, go to the blog, russellofhotels.com. Any topic will be there. And then just things that I do. If you didn't know who I was, that information is there as well. So feel free to take a look at your leisure and just check it out. And this is the coffee bar, right? So everything, like I said, everything is brand new, right? So there's a restaurant over here. The coffee bar, of course, is in back of me. You know, I go to get my chai latte. It's not like, you know, it ain't the best chai latte, but you know, it's okay. It's okay, right? It'll do, right? When I'm there, you know, doing my work from there, it's okay for that. But you know, I mean, it ain't the best, but maybe the other coffee drinks are. I don't know. But you know, the ambiance of the hotel is so cool that I overlook the chai latte. I'm like, okay, this, you know, when you're used to a chai tasting a certain way from other places, and you go here and like your level, your expectations are up here, and then when you get it, it's like it ain't even, you can't even see it, doesn't even register. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But definitely a nice bar. You can get your cocktails here as well. I think you get some grab and go like sandwiches and breakfast things as well. So they do a great job over there. Other than the chai latte, they don't do a good job with that, but that's okay. Maybe they're working on it. I haven't been there in a minute, so maybe they're working on it. So the topic for the day, see, I'm just rambling, but the topic for the day is our hotel, and I put this on LinkedIn, I think yesterday. Are hotels missing the mark in marketing? Are they missing the mark in marketing? Okay. Well, and this is all from Russell of Hotels, right? This is my perspective. This is no one else's perspective. These are things that I come up with because, you know, being a former director of sales and marketing and spending a lot of time in marketing and trying to see what works and what doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, I take this stuff kind of serious, and I'm like, man, you know, and every now and then I come up with these topics, you know, I'm just sitting there just, you know, thinking about, you know, what would be my next topic or whatever. And I say, well, what are we missing? What's being missed? And some people would agree and some people won't agree. And that's okay, right? It's all about, you know, one's perspective. And this is Russell Edmond, or Russell of Hotels perspective. And I go to a lot of hotels. I'm online a lot. I spend a lot of time posting for hotels. So, you know, some hotels will, you know, they ask me to post for them. They, you know, that kind of stuff. So I do these things, and I see the frequency on which hotels post things. I see the frequency of which, you know, maybe hotel like sales leaders, and it's not just limited to hotels, but DMOs as well, how much they're engaging with their audience. Do they even know who their audience is? I mean, that's one thing. And are they using social media the way they should be using it? I mean, social media is powerful, right? It can, yeah, it's definitely a lot of negative stuff, but it's positive stuff there too, right? Okay, so because it's negative, because there's some negative things, because people can always point out the things that are negative, right? Does that mean we don't do it? Does that mean, okay, oh, it's too negative, there's so much stuff on there, I can't, does that mean we don't do it? We just ignore it? And we rely on the old antiquated things that we know don't work, just because, you know, because it's been tried and true, and a lot of the stuff that the old stuff does not work anymore. Print advertising, does that still work? Are people still doing that? Yeah, they're still doing that. Billboards well, a lot of people are not doing that because it's expensive. And can you track that? Is that trackable? Everything has to be trackable these days. Everything has to, you know, okay, I'm using this, you know, can I measure that? What's the success rate in that? What's the ROI, right? What's that return on my investment, right? So a lot of times we're looking at those things, but we miss the big picture that, are we even visible so people can see that we're there? Do people remember that we're there? And I mentioned something last week, you know, contrary, I think my topic was, contrary to popular belief, everyone does not know our hotels exist. And that is so true, okay? We forget. People forget. What's the last hotel I stayed in? The last hotel I stayed in was that in Toledo? Yeah, it was in Toledo. Okay, it was a Homewood Suites Homewood Suites in Toledo in a Hilton Garden Inn. That's the last hotel I stayed in. Right, I remember that. I remember everything about it. Right, but can I remember the one I stayed before that? And have I seen anything from that hotel since then? Well, yeah, it was a PGA. It was a PGA National in West Palm Garden, Florida. Okay, I remember that. Okay, because guess what? The reason I remember it because I've been posting things about that hotel. Now, see, what are they doing then? Are they posting as well? Have I been seeing things from them being posted? And I follow everybody. Every hotel that I stay in, I make sure I follow them on IG, on LinkedIn, or whatever. Now, LinkedIn is business to business for the most part, right? Okay. So should they be well, I don't know where their business comes from, right? So let's just say your business comes from LinkedIn. Shouldn't you be posting more on LinkedIn than you should be posting on something else on another platform? But I just think we should be posting anyway, right? So I'm not saying you should be posting in every single platform, but you need to figure out which ones your audience uses, okay? And then post things there, interact with people there because it's all about engagement and interaction. And I think we don't get that part of it or the visibility. I'm a salesperson with XYZ hotel, right? Well, I want to make sure people know that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to post things where I'm visible, where people can see me. Are we doing those things? So I said all that, and I always say this. I said all that to say, are hotels missing the mark in marketing? I think they are, and that's just me. Okay, that's Russell of Hotels. That's me saying this. I think we are missing the mark when it comes to marketing. Hotels still think everyone knows they exist. I just said that a while ago, right? Why do we think that? Hotels are still missing the mark in marketing because too many are relying on outdated playbooks instead of learning or leaning into visibility and brand awareness. I talk about this all the time. Here's how I put it, okay? This is the Russell of Hotels way, okay? So, like I said, I come up with my own stuff, okay? I have my own thoughts when it comes to different things. People can agree or they can just, it's a conversation piece, right? Like, you know what? Some of this stuff may be right, okay? Some of this stuff, okay. Maybe if we start doing these, are we doing these things? That's the thing. This is what you should do, right? Are you doing any of the things I'm talking about? Are you doing any of those things? And are you being consistent with it? First, hotels still think everyone knows their hotels exist. Hotels think they think that we know that they exist or we think that they exist. That's not true. If you're not showing up consistently on platforms where people are making decisions, LinkedIn, IG, YouTube, even TikTok, then you're invisible. Visibility creates brand awareness, and brand awareness creates brand excitement. Excitement leads to bookings, right? So you're never going to get bookings off of one posting, right? Well, maybe you can get lucky and maybe you will, right? But a lot of times it does take work. Marketing is work. Marketing is not one and done, right? I do it one time and everything is going to just fall into place. No. I've done 314 shows, remember? Okay, do you think that everyone knows who I am? I wish the heck they did, but the reality is, no, they don't. So if I was sitting around here saying that, no one knows who I am and this and that, everybody knows who I am, well, I'd be lying, right? I'd be lying to me, I'd be lying to you, right? But there's more people that know me every day because I'm doing things daily, well, at least Monday through Friday. I'm doing things, I'm posting something every single Monday through Friday. It's just it. That's what I'm doing. I made an effort several years ago when I first started this show, 314 shows ago, that I'm going to constantly put myself out there. Okay, being a former director of sales and marketing, being a former general manager, being a former sales manager, what were the things, this is what I think about, what were the things that I was missing out on? And I wasn't visible enough. My team wasn't visible enough. And that's the thing that we need to get in the mindset of. It's not just about me, it's about other people too, right? Everybody needs to be visible because I think we're only successful if people know who we are, what we do, and how they can help us or how we can help them, okay? but you cannot do anything unless people know that you exist, right? So it starts with that, right? So once again, number one, hotels still think everyone knows they exist, and the short answer to that is no. No, they don't. We don't know that you exist, right? You have to constantly do things. You kind of constantly make noise, right? You have to make noise so people take notice. Like, oh my God, okay, that hotel's doing this, that hotel's doing that, or that person is doing this. That person is a salesperson for that hotel, right? And as salespeople, I always say this: you want to become synonymous with your brand. So if they think of me, they think of Russell of Hotels, right? Hopefully that's what they think, right? But if you're a sales manager or you're a director of sales and marketing for your hotel, hopefully when they see your name pop up somewhere, or they see you like, oh my God, he or she is the director of that hotel, or he or she is the sales manager of that hotel. They post things all the time. That is so cool. Let me look into that hotel. So one thing that people don't seem to know is, like, when I post something, like say I'm doing this show and I'm doing it, all the hotels that I'm showing, not on this scene here, but every time I change scenes, it's the Hilton Culver City. Remember, I just talked about the Hilton Culver City, right? How many people do you think that are watching this show will actually Google the Hilton Culver City? Studies show that over 60, I want to say like 65% of the people that are watching this show will do that. They will actually Google, because I've been talking about the Hilton Culver City. I've been showing the pictures. They want to see it for themselves, right? So 60%, over 60% of the people will do that. And that's what you want, right? So the more visual you are, the more things are going to happen for you. The less visual you are, the less things are going to happen. I mean, that's just it. It's just a numbers game, right? So once again, did I say this already? Let me just say it one more time. Hotels still think everyone knows that they exist. Okay, that's not true. If you're not showing up consistently on the platforms where people are making decisions, and that's LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, or even TikTok, then you're invisible. Visibility creates brand awareness, and brand awareness creates brand excitement. You want people to be excited. Yeah, get them, or go there. Excitement leads to bookings, and you want that. The more excited people are, the more likely you are to get bookings. Okay? The second one, hotels are playing it too safe. Hotels are playing it too safe. What are they? They post polished photos of lobbies and guest rooms, but guests and planners want authenticity. They want some authentic stuff. Okay? They don't want all that stuff, the stuff that you know, the polish, oh my God, oh, this is nice. It's in 4-color, the folder and all this stuff. They throw that stuff away, okay? I throw that stuff away. In fact, I'll tell you this. We spend so much money on collateral, okay? The collateral material with all the nice pictures and photos and the inserts and all this kind of stuff. I go to trade shows all the time, or conferences, right? I go to, Destination Midwest, Destination Southeast, small meetings in boutique hotels or whatever, IPEC, IMEX. Do you think I want all this folders and all those kind of things? No, I said, give me a digital copy or send it to me, email it to me. Then I'll take a look at it, right? Because no one wants to carry all that stuff. First of all, it ain't sustainable, okay? Why are we doing things? We always practice or preach sustainability, but we want to give you all these things. We want to give you all this paperwork. Come on now. You're spending money where people don't want it. People do not want it. Email it to them, okay? Or give them the thumbnail drive or whatever. That's fine. But even that, they want you just to email it to me. When you get back to your office, email it to me. Okay, we can go from there. Send me the link, and we'll go from there. Okay, so, but once again, hotels are playing it too safe. They want polished photos and lobbies and guest rooms, but guests and planners want authentic stuff, authenticity. Show me your team. Show me behind the scenes. Show me your team. Show me behind the scenes. Show me the personality of your brand. Marketing isn't about perfection. It's about connection. Oh, you hear that? Marketing is about connection, not perfection. Okay? We want to connect. We're not looking for anything perfect, right? Perfect is not real. Okay, if I'm sitting up here and I got this, and I'm got makeup and all, that's not me, right? This is me. This is me right here, right? So we want we want people that are real. We want hotels that are real. We want people that are representing hotels that are real. We know things don't always go according to plan. We know there's some hiccups every now and then, okay? That's just how it is. But how do you respond to the hiccups, right? This is live, right? This is live. So if I make mistakes, then I need to try to make up for those mistakes, right? Or at least move on. No, I just move on, right? I'm just like, okay, hey, this is live, right? And the reason why I do live things, because I don't like to edit. Because editing makes it too perfect. I'm not a perfect dude, right? A lot of us aren't perfect, right? We may think, we may wish for perfection, but that's not what real people want. Real people don't want that. Real people want, okay, you make some mistakes. Okay, yeah, you said something wrong, Russell of Hotels, like you always do. But hey, you made it up. You kept it going, right? You didn't let it get you down, right? You're a real dude, okay? Things happen. So yeah, do we want the perfect stuff? No, let's save that for, do we want the perfect pictures that you're going to give us? No, I'm going to come to your hotel because if my client is serious about your hotel, I'm going to come and see it for myself, right? So if it's serious enough where my client wants to see your meeting space and your hotel room and stay the night or whatever, yeah, we're going to come for a 100% real experience, okay? So just best believe that. But yeah, you do have to have some things. Yeah, we want to see the website or whatever, but we'll do that at our own leisure. But we want to make sure that website looks the same as when we come to see it in person. Now, if your website does not look like your hotel in person, that's just one room, well, we don't want to see that. That's fake, okay? And next thing you know, we won't be coming to that hotel because you're putting up a story. You're making a story, okay? We don't want a story. We want the reality. But we do want a story. We want a story about the history of the hotel or the people that work there. We want that type of history. But when it comes to, the photos and things like that, if your website shows certain things, I want to be able to come to your hotel and find that, okay? That's where hotels kind of fall short, is that we see things on their website and we get to their property and it's nothing like that. And that happens more often than you would think. Okay, so third, hotels aren't engaging enough with planners and clients online. One thing that I do is as soon as I come back from a conference, maybe I'm not even back from the conference yet. When I have some downtime, I'm going to take all the business cards they gave me, or sometimes they don't give me business cards, or I go through the list of the appointments that I had. So I get an appointment sheet, right? So if it's 50 people that I saw in the last couple of days, I'll go each name, go on LinkedIn and make sure I'm connected with those people. I do it all the time. I want to be able to communicate with them on LinkedIn. If I don't have their business card, if I don't have an email, that's okay. I'm going to send a message to them on LinkedIn. Hey, thank you for your time. It was nice seeing you. Could you send me some more information about this? My client is interested. Whatever that is, we need to do those things, right? But I always connect with people on LinkedIn, okay? I try to communicate and try to stay in touch with people. It's funny how it should be actually the other way around. But I always draw on my sales experience, right? Where salespeople need to communicate. They need to take the initiative, right? But a lot of salespeople today, they don't take the initiative. They are not. I talk to people all the time. I can name people right now that I've reached out to them, but they have not reached back out. They have not responded to me, my initial email. Hey, thank you. Thanks for for your time, or thanks for the proposal, blah, blah, blah. And they haven't even responded back. Like, are you still considering us? Are you still there? Is this thing still on? Things like that. It's just crazy to me how we're expecting business, but we don't want to do the work that requires business. Why is someone at my door right now? Okay. Do they know I'm doing On Air with Russell of Hotels? Obviously not, but that's okay. So just make sure that we're responding. If you're a salesperson, that's your job. Your job. Let's do it. Okay. Let's respond to people. Let's stay in touch. Staying in touch It's just an email. It can be just an email. Hey, just you crossed my mind. Wanted to follow up on that program that we talked about at Destination Southeast. Whatever it is, right? I mean, something to that effect, right? So, and then I respond back like, hey, client decided to go somewhere else, blah, blah, blah. But please stay in touch because, next year we'll be back in the same area. Whatever the response is, but we need to make sure there's a two-way communication. I need to respond as a meeting professional or hotel site selection person, and you need to respond as a hotel salesperson, DMO salesperson, whatever that is, we need to respond to each other. I'm not saying it's a one-way street because it is definitely a two-way street. Communication is two people, right? I need to communicate and they need to communicate as well. But sometimes the initiative needs to come from the salesperson because aren't they the ones that want the business? I'm trying to give the business, but sometimes hotels act like they don't want it. And I'm being real, right? I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm being real, and I'm not alone, okay? I'm not alone. I don't know. Is that a song called I'm Not Alone? I don't know. But am I done here? Once again, okay. The first one, hotels still think everyone knows they exist. That's false, okay? No, we don't know your hotel exists, so make us know that you exist. Second one, hotels are playing it too safe. They want to post polished photos of lobbies and guest rooms, but we want the story. We want a story about your general manager or that person's been there 30 years in housekeeping or, behind the scenes of that hotel or when they built that hotel, it was built on, it was a converted bank, from the early 1800s. I mean, whatever the story is, stories are good. People want to hear that. They want a connection, okay? It's not about rooms, rates, dates, and space, okay? It's not all about that, right? We want the story, okay? Well, what are your rates? I mean, these are our rates. What dates do you want? And this is our space. We don't know. No. Now, mind you, there will be some meeting professionals that will, they're to the point. They want this, they want that. Do you have it? If you have it, okay, maybe we can continue the conversation. But if you don't have it, they're moving on somewhere else, right? But they don't have time for that stuff, right? But it's all about a story. Tell us a story about this property. There's something that's intriguing, something that's going to keep us, that's going to keep our interest, right? So it's not about the space, the rates, dates, and space, okay? Yeah, we have those rates and we have the dates. Okay, all right. What else is there? Okay, what else is there besides that? So we need to just engage. Hotels aren't engaging enough with planners and clients online, and that's another thing. Too many sales teams treat LinkedIn like a resume instead of a branding tool. Did you hear that one? Let me say that again. Too many sales teams treat LinkedIn like a resume instead of a branding tool. You have a brand, right? The brand is you. Utilize the tool to enhance your brand. That's what I do. Okay, Russell of Hotels lives on LinkedIn. I do because I know it's a branding tool. It's a tool for me to, escalate my brand, right? Escalate the Russell of Hotels brand or whatever. But I would not be Russell of Hotels if it wasn't for a LinkedIn or a IG or a YouTube, right? But I primarily use LinkedIn, right? So that's where I would suggest you start, right? Because a lot of business comes from there. A lot of my business comes from there. And it's not just about connecting with other hotels. Like say if I'm a hotel, I'm not just connecting with hotels. I'm connecting with people that can use my services, right? That may not know who I am, that may need the services of hotel site selection, okay? Or maybe because I've had all this experience in hotel sales and being a general manager and director of sales and marketing, maybe they have questions about that where I can help them, okay? So that's what it's all about, right? Throw that stuff out there that you're good at, that you do, right? But it's all about letting people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help. And LinkedIn is a branding tool. It's a tool to use for your brand. Okay, it's not just to get there. It's not a resume. Okay, it's not for a resume, although I guess you could get a gig with that. But check this out though. I just thought of this one, right? Wouldn't people, they would know who you were if you did post things on LinkedIn, right? Just in case you were looking for a job, or maybe they're looking to hire someone and they saw someone outgoing on LinkedIn. They're like, hey, they reach out to you like, hey, let's have a conversation. I see you on LinkedIn all the time. I know you're a salesperson at XYZ Hotel. We're looking for that type of person. Would you be interested? So LinkedIn, based on your efforts, based on what you're doing, based on you showing up, could be a tool to get that next gig, right? Because I guarantee you, I know 2 or 3 people that the only reason they got new jobs, or that people started approaching them, because they were posting things all the time. They're talking about their hotel. They're talking about themselves. They were so passionate about it. And I guarantee you, they never told me this, but I know they got new jobs, right? And it came from that. They want that same energy at their hotel, right? Because guess what? The hotel they worked for didn't appreciate it. They didn't get it. I guarantee you, because I know the hotels. They didn't appreciate it. They didn't get it, right? They didn't encourage it, right? You know, sometimes you just do things on your own because you're a salesperson, and you just gotta make it happen, because at the end of the month, there's some numbers that are due, right? There's some budgets that you gotta hit. If we take advantage of those things, man, the sky's the limit if we take advantage of those things. So anyway, bottom line, marketing is not a department. It's everyone's responsibility. Every post, every response, every conversation is marketing. And right now, hotels need to stop being invisible and start being intentional about how they show up. Boom. I can just drop the mic right there. I didn't have to say anything else. I could have just said that and just turned this thing off and I'm done. Peace, deuces, but I didn't, okay? Because, I have to go through all that in order to tell you that. And I'm going to say this one more time, so just in case you missed it, right? And remember, this thing, all this stuff I'm talking about is on my blog or will be on the blog. So marketing is not a department. It's everyone's responsibility. Every post, every response, every conversation is marketing. And right now, hotels need to stop being invisible. That means be visible. And start being intentional about how they show up. Whew, that was a good one. Whew, man. Whew. Okay, who's hiring? And we're almost done here. We're almost done. Who's hiring? So I got a couple jobs here. The Montrose in WeHo. Anyone outside? Anyone within Los Angeles County knows what WeHo is? That's West Hollywood. So the Montrose Hotel, which is I want to say it's an all-suite property, if I'm not mistaken. All-suite. Is that the all-suite property? Boutique hotel in West Hollywood. They're looking for a general manager. Okay, GM there. The Beverly Hills Hotel, they're looking for a director of engineering. The Four Point Sheraton in Culver City. This is actually across the street from the Hilton in Culver City. They're looking for a general manager too. What is this? Everyone's looking for a GM now? What's going on? They all leave at the same time? Pali Hotel on Melrose. They're looking for a general manager too. Everyone's leaving at the same time. What the heck is going on, GMs? The Marriott in Torrance, they're looking for an assistant rooms manager. So there you go. Once again, Montrose and WeHo, looking for a GM. Beverly Hills Hotel, looking for a director of engineering. Four Point Sheraton, Culver City, looking for a GM. Pali Hotel on Melrose, looking for a GM. And the Marriott, Torrance. Torrance is right outside Los Angeles. They're looking for an assistant rooms manager. So there you go. Take that information and act accordingly, okay? Whatever that means. So once again, this is the Hilton, Culver City. Remember, On Air with Russell of Hotels comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So next week would be show number 4. I went from 300 to 400. It'll be show number 315 next week, right? So every Tuesday, 1 o'clock PST. That means in California, it's 1 o'clock. If you're on the East Coast, it's at 4 o'clock. So just in case you did not know that, now you know, right? So feel free to check it out. And if you can't check it out live, that's okay. It is on replay on LinkedIn, YouTube, and I posted on my Facebook as well as I'll do little inserts on IG and TikTok as well. So there you go. There you go. And any questions at all, feel free to reach out. I'm here for it. I'm here for all that. My email is russell@russellofhotels.com. You can go to my website, russellofhotels.com. My phone number is there if you choose to call me, because some people just want to talk. I'm like, okay, let's do it. You know, they want to talk about certain things. They want to like, hey, why did you say this? And what does well-appointed rooms mean? And I like that Hilton Culver City. Can you help me, you know, with some groups there? You know, do you do groups internationally? I mean, I get a whole myriad of questions. And yeah, I do things internationally. I do incentive trips, any kind of groups. 10 rooms or more is considered a group, right? So I do those. I mean, you'd be amazed of some of the things that I do, right? But it's all about, what do you need? What do you need help with? Yes, I'm a consultant, branding, all those kind of things, visibility, okay? How do you do that? How do you, how do you position yourself to do these lives, to talk about yourself, to talk about your brand? And remember, the brand is you, okay? It's not the hotel that you work for. It starts with you. It's the brand who represents the brand, okay? The brand starts with you. You happen to represent, the Hilton in Culver City. Let's just say that for an example, right? But people are going to buy you. So if I'm a salesperson at the Hilton in Culver City, they're going to buy me. They're going to buy the brand of Russell Edmond, okay? They're not going to buy just a Hilton, because guess what? The Hilton can't sell you anything, okay? The Hilton's a building, okay? It can't tell you anything. It can't take you to lunch. It can't buy you a drink, okay? It's the person that you build a relationship with. That's what it's all about. It's all about the relationship. Yeah, I just happen to work at the Hilton Culver City, okay? And this is an example, right? So somebody's going to come in at the end and like, oh, Russell works at the Hilton Culver City? No, I'm giving examples, people. Follow me. But yeah, so just remember that the brand starts with you. Even the Russell of Hotels brand, which some people have heard of, a lot of people haven't, okay? That's why I continue to do this. And remember this. This is it. Remember this. It's not about the people that know what I do or know who I am. It's for the people that don't know who I am and what I do. So for salespeople, think of that same thing. I'm reaching out to the people that don't know that I exist, okay? That's why I'm doing these lives. That's why I'm posting things. That's why I'm going to these trade shows. That's why I want to let people know who the heck I am. Trade shows, conventions, whatever. That's why I want to let people know who I am, because not everyone knows. And we have to tell ourselves that everyone does not know who I am or who we are, or they don't know my hotel that I represent. We have to just, instead of thinking that everyone does, just think that everyone doesn't. Then that would change people's mindset. If you went into it like, they don't know who I am, they don't know this hotel that I represent, and everyone you come across, boom, 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 you're talking about it. Or now I got enough nerve to get on, IG or LinkedIn, and I'm going to start talking about who I am, my story, and the hotel that I represent, or the DMO, Destination Marketing Organization, or CVB that I represent, because that's what it's all about. I mean, I see people do it all the time, right? But not everyone's doing it. Not everyone's doing it. So when you think that, oh, my competition's doing it, guess what? They're not. They're not. Absolutely not. Okay? At your comp set, like, okay, I'm in, this is my comp set. I got these 7 hotels in my comp set. If you're the only one, if you're doing like daily check-ins or something, and I'm just using this as an example. If I'm doing these things, I'm every week I'm doing a live and I'm talking about my hotel and this and that, talking about myself, telling my story or whatever. I guarantee you, out of the other 7 hotels in your comp set, you're the only one doing it. I guarantee you. And guess what? You'll be getting the business. Eventually, you'll be getting it, because people will get excited about it, right? They're like, oh, you're the guy that does this, or you're the gal that does this on LinkedIn every, once a week or whatever. I love your content. I love your story, this and that. Stories resonate with people. It's just it. It's the story of you, or you're telling the story. It can be the story about a hotel, right? But the story can't tell, the hotel can't tell the story. They need someone, the hotel needs someone to tell the story for the hotel. And a lot of times it comes down to the salesperson, okay? Whoever that is, he or she, whoever that is, it comes down to them, okay? So do you want to be that person? You want to take that next step and be visible? You know, show that visibility, because visibility will lead to a lot of things, but it starts with visibility. It can lead to business. It can lead to just people knowing you, recognition, whatever it is. You have to start somewhere, okay? And just to go back to the topic, what was the topic? What was the topic? Do I think our hotel's missing the mark in marketing? Yeah, I think we are, but I think it's something that can be easily rectified or taken care of or corrected. Okay, I just think that these days we have to sell differently. We can't sell the same way that we were selling. Okay, we have to sell our story, sell ourselves, sell our brand. You know, everybody's doing a brand. Everybody has a brand. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people do. But in our space, in the hotel hospitality space, not everyone is taking advantage of the tools that we have. That's the main issue. There's a lot of great tools out there for us to do these things, but so few of us are doing it or taking advantage of it. So that's it. You guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much. This was On Air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about. In fact, if they're not talking about it, they will be talking about it, right? So that's the attitude you got to have, right? So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow, because I do a daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This show will be every Tuesday, so I'll be back for 3:15 next Tuesday. But remember, I do a daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so I'll be back. So anyway, that is it. You guys have a great day. Happy Tuesday, and have a great week. And as always, peace.